Okay, so today in class we learned how to write an inequality from a shaded region. So this time we're going backwards as to what we learned the day before. So they've given us the shaded area and we have to come up with a system and then tell whether or not there are solutions in it. So we've got 4 parts to do. So on number 1, in order to find the equation of the line, of the first line, we're going to need to find the y-intercept. So the m and the b we need, and then whether we're solid line or dashed line, and whether it's above or below. So my y-intercept for this line is at +2. And then when I find another point, I've gone up 1 and to the right 2, so my slope is 1/2. So that means that my system, one of the equations, is going to be y, and then I shaded below, so that meant that it was going to be a less than sign, and then it's a solid, so that means that it's going to be, this tells us that it's going to be less than or equal to. So it's y is less than or equal to 1/2 x plus 2. That's the first equation. Then we go to the second equation. My y-intercept for the second equation is all the way down here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So my b is equal to -5. To find my slope, I pick another point in stair step. So I'm going up 3 and to the left 1, which means that my slope is -3, because up is positive, but the left is negative. So up 3 to the left 1 is 3/1, which is, or -3/1. Now, that is also a solid line, and it's shading, when I shade this direction, that's above. So the fact that it's above and solid means that it's got to be greater than or equal to. So y is going to be greater than or equal to -3x minus 5, my slope, my y-intercept. Now, the shape asks for, what shape is that shaded region? Well, that's a quadrilateral because it's a 4-sided figure. And then it asks for 2 solutions. Well, you can pick any solutions that are inside the shaded area. So I'm going to go ahead and pick that point and this point. So this point is at -2, 0, and the other point is at -4, I'm sorry, +4, hello, +2, 0, and at +4, comma, -3. Those would be 2 solutions that are inside the shaded area. And then proof, algebraically, what we can do is we can substitute those numbers in to find out if they work for both of them. So when I substitute in my 2 zeros...
Good evening, students. If you are riding the late bus or the tutoring bus, please make your way to the bus loop. The buses will pull off in roughly 2 minutes. Make sure that you understand that this is Monday through Thursday. This will be the only announcement that you will get to ask you to report to the bus loop. So please, at this time, report to the bus loop for departure.
Okay, so if I substitute in a 0 for y is less than or equal to 1/2 of 2 plus 2. When I do the math for that, 0 is less than or equal to 1 plus 2, which is 3. Is 0 less than or equal to 3? It is. Then when we put that same point into the other one, we have 0 is greater than or equal to -3 times 2 minus 5. And so 0 is greater than or equal to -6 minus 5, which is -11. 0 is greater than -11. So that particular point works for both equations in the system. And then we could do the same thing with this other point. If I put in -3 for y, less than or equal to 1/2 of 4 plus 2, -3 is less than 4, okay, 2 plus 2, which is 4. And then if I do -3 is greater than or equal to -3 times 4 minus 5. So -3 is bigger than -17. So notice it works for both of them. So then when it asks for 2 non-solutions, we want something outside of the shaded region. So we want something up here or up over here somewhere. Okay, so one of the points could be 0, 4. That would not be a solution. And another point could be, let's see, negative 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So negative 3, negative 4. Now you can pick any of those points in there. I just picked those two. All right, let's look at the next one. We got to get a system of the 3 lines, so I'm going to start with this line right here. My y-intercept is at 1, so my b is equal to 1. And when I stair step up to the next point, my slope is equal to 1. This is a solid line, and we shaded below it. So shading solid and below means that it's going to be less than or equal to. So my first one is going to be y is less than or equal to x plus 1. Now the purple line will do this one right here. So the y-intercept is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And when I use my slope to go down to the next point, I'm going down 3 and to the right 1. So my slope is 3. We shaded below the line, and it's a solid line. So that means that that's going to be less than or equal to. So y is less than or equal to negative 3x plus 5. And then if I do, let's go with the blue line. We'll use this one. The y-intercept is at negative 1. The slope is down 1 and to the right 2. So your slope is negative 1/2. And it's solid and it's above. So that means it's going to be greater than or equal to. So y is greater than or equal to negative 1/2 x minus 1. So those are the 3. All right, so now if we want to find the shape is triangle for the shaded region. 2 solutions. We don't have very many to choose from, so let's do 0, 0 and 1, 0. So 0, 0 and 1, 0. Proof, we can put those in to the equations. So 0 is less than or equal to 0 plus 1. So 0 is less than 1, that works. 0 is less than or equal to negative 3 times 0 plus 5. So 0 is less than 5. And 0 is greater than or equal to negative 1/2 times 0 minus 1. 0 is bigger than negative 1, so that works. Could show that again over here, is what we would want to do. Okay, 2 non-solutions, you've got a whole list of things because everything outside. So let's do this one and let's go that one right there. There should be outside. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 0 is not a solution. And that was what, 1, 2, 1, 5? 4, 1, 4. Or 1, 5 for that matter. Okay? All right, on the back, we need to find or write the system and then solve it and graph it. So we have Sandy makes $2 profit for every cup of lemonade that she sells and $1 for every cupcake she sells. Sandy wants to sell at least 10 cups of lemonade or cupcakes, and she wants to make at least $25. So I am going to let X be equal to the number of cups of lemonade and Y be equal to the number of cupcakes. Okay? So my system's going to be that X plus Y, the number of cups of lemonade plus the number of cups of cupcakes, wants to be at least 10. At least means greater than or equal to 10. Okay, at least is greater than or equal to. And then for how much she's selling them worth, it's $2 worth for every lemonade and $1 for every cupcake, and she wants to make at least $25. There's the at least again, so greater than or equal to. So now we have to graph those and find a solution. So in order to graph them, I have to solve for y. So on this one, I'm going to take away x and take away x. So y is going to be greater than or equal to negative x plus 10. And over here, I'm going to take away 2x and take away 2x. And so y is going to be greater than or equal to negative 2x plus 25. Okay? So now when I graph these two, let's graph the first one. We're going to start at positive 10. We're going to move down 1 and to the right 1. So this is going to be our slope. It's a solid line. That's a horrible line. It's a solid line. And we want to shade greater. So we want to shade above. Okay? On the next one, we want to start at 25, so let's start at 25, and we're going to go down 2 and to the right 1. Okay, so this will be, and again, this one's going to be a solid line. And this one we want to shade above. So now when you look at that, the shaded region where they both overlap is going to be your solution set. So your solution set is going to be everything that has to be basically above the pink line, because the blue is above and the pink is above. So all of this is your solution area. So when it asks for how many cupcakes and how many cups of lemonade, this was cups of lemonade, because that's what we made X stand for. And the Y was cups of, or cupcakes. So when we go to find an ordered pair that's in the solution set, let's just go to something easy that's down here. So let's go 13, 4, which is right there. That's in the solution set. So a solution could be 13, let's see that. A solution could be 13 cups of lemonade. And 4 cupcakes would get her at least $25. So 13 cups of lemonade and 4 cupcakes would be a solution, but there are tons of others that we could use. Okay, the next one, Vance wants to fence in a rectangular area for his dog. He wants the length of the rectangle to be at least 30 feet and the perimeter to be no more than 150 feet. Okay, so I'm going to let x be equal to my length, and I'm going to let y be equal to my width. Okay, so the first one says that the length, he wants the length to be at least 30. So the length has to be greater than or equal to 30. Okay, and perimeter is 2 L's, well, yes, we're using x's. So 2x, so x is greater than or equal to 30. 2x plus 2y has to be no more than. So no more than means that you don't want more than. So less than or equal to 150. Okay, so when we graph it, this one's already ready to be graphed. So x we already decided was the length, and y was the width. So the second one needs to be solved for. So let's go ahead and subtract 2x here. subtract 2x here. So we have 2y is less than or equal to negative 2x plus 150. And then when we divide by 2, we get that y is less than or equal to negative x plus 75. So we're graphing this one, and we're graphing this one. So if it's x is greater than or equal to 30, then that's going to be a vertical line at 30. And it's going to be solid, and we are going to shade greater, so to the right, because those are the numbers bigger or greater than 30. The second one, we'll go ahead and make that blue, this one. We're going to begin at 75, and we're going to go down 1 and to the right 1. Now here's the thing, we're going by 5s on here, so you can't just go down 1 into the right 1. But you can go down 5 into the right 5, because that's like 1. So we're going to go down 5 to the right 5, down 5 to the right 5. That ends up being 1 over 1, 5 over 5 is like 1. Okay, so it's going to be a solid line as well. And they want to shade below. So it's going to be all of this. So if I kept going here, we would, all of this would eventually be both red and blue because it would keep going. So my solution set is everything inside here. Okay? And so a possible solution, well, let's pick one that's kind of easy. Let's go 40 and 40 length, and let's go 10 width. So, go again. 40 for length and 10 width. That would be one possible solution, but there are several. And we're done.